Home Secretary Suella Braverman joined Richard and Kate on Good Morning Britain to challenge the police to investigate every crime, however big or small.
If you've ever been burgled or had something stolen, you'll understand just how personal it is and how it can feel to have been the victim of what the police call a low-level crime.
Well, fed up of witnessing the impact of multiple uninvestigated and unsolved bike thefts in his community, Omar Terywall decided enough was enough and took matters into his own hands.
This is my bike.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Where did you get this bike from, just out of interest?
Derek, yeah.
Do you have got his details at all?
No, I don't.
So, have you bought any other bikes from him at all?
No.
So, how did you come across Derek?
It's
definitely his bike.
It's definitely my bike.
Show
me the receipt.
Yeah.
Can you? No, I mean, I bought the bike 18 years ago. Okay. But you know what? We can go to the police now.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Yeah. And we can sort this out there. Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
And Omar joins us now alongside him, former police detective Peter Bleksley. Now, this is kind of a real... It's a real change for you, I suppose, because I was reading about you this morning, and by day you're the director of a rowing company, and by night a bike vigilante. So this is quite sort of a separation of worlds, which I think is really nice to read, somebody that's really invested in his community. How did this all come about? At what point did you say, OK, I'm going to step in here?
Well, it started off with somebody that had their bike stolen and they posted up on a Facebook selling page just to say, I had my bike stolen, this is what it looked like. And just a few minutes later, happened to see somebody selling an identical-looking bike to hers, but at a fraction of the value. It looked pretty off, so I got in touch with the seller, got the address details, and then passed all that information to the bike owner, who instantly recognised it as her bike. Got in touch with the police, and of course, at that point there, the police turned around and said that they can't really do anything about it, not for a few weeks. So I helped get that bike back, and it kind of stemmed from there, really. It's just it's been great helping people out, really.
It's a real case of taking the law into your own hands, but you live in you're in Cambridge, aren't you? Based in Cambridge, which actually is a bike theft hotspot. So you really are providing a service to the community. Were you ever scared about, doing this or trying to get these bikes back? Because obviously, when they're stolen by bad people.
Yeah. I think living in Cambridge makes a big difference. I wouldn't be able to do what I do in London, for example.
Right.
I'm probably more scared of my wife than I am than most of the people out there.
Good man. As you should be.
Yeah.
But I do approach it in a pretty decent manner, in the sense that, always give benefit of the doubt to the person that may have that bike. It could be that they actually, found it. It could be that they've been sold it and it wasn't registered on the bike register beforehand as well. So always give the benefit of the doubt, and that helps a great deal in itself.
So what are your methods in tracking down? Because obviously this just didn't stop there with that one particular lady. This is something now you're actively doing. What are your methods to track down these bike thieves?
So we set up a page on Facebook. It's called the Official Stolen Bikes in Cambridge page. And it's now become this amazing neighbourhood watch now. In fact, perhaps the largest neighbourhood watch that you've got out there as well, where if somebody has a bike stolen, they happen to have captured it on CCTV or they've got some still footages, we'll post it up on the page, and within a very short time frame, we're talking about 15, 20 minutes or so, I can probably tell you who that person is, where they live, who they hang about with, where they were 5 minutes ago, that level of intel. I mean, we've been going for a good few years now, and about 3 years now, and in that time, it's become pretty apparent in Cambridge that a lot, it's the same people that keep
reoffending.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. How many bikes have you recovered so far?
We have recovered over 500 bikes in the last 3 years.
Goodness me.
And it's not just me going around knocking on doors. It's just from the intel that we get. It's the Cambridge community working together as one.
Well, the intel that you have, that, like you said, the repeat offenders and, the details that you have on these people. Peter, this, to me, really does sound like a job for the police.
Yeah. Absolutely, but Omar does what he does, born out of the frustration of the police doing nothing. And he's doing a fine public service. And he's a very nice fella, as if you might
He's
have
a very
already
nice
gathered.
fella, but he shouldn't have to be doing what he's doing.
But our timing's perfect today, isn't it?
Yes.
On the day when Suella Braverman says
Yeah.
all thefts are going to be investigated. Well, we shall see. Omar has tales that are, quite frankly, horror stories about police inactivity. And let's look at the police over the last few years. They turned their backs on the moderate majority of the UK because they did not investigate bike theft, phone theft, burglary, car theft, the crimes that people, sadly, are victims of every day.
Yeah.
Now, perhaps, we're going to see a reinventing of the police wheel, but in the meantime, I want Omar to be safe. I don't want him turning a bad situation worse. And we had a chat before we came on about evidence gathering, evidence packages and such like to hand over to the police.
How have Cambridge police been with you and what you do?
They've been quite supportive. Obviously, they were worried about, you know, a vigilante group appearing. Now, although I've been coined with that term vigilante, I'm really there to help assist the police as well. You know, we deal with everything in the right manner, even when it comes to confronting people as well. You know, it's always done in a really civilised way as well. We do have the police on side, although they're
Well, we did go to Cambridge Police and ask them for a statement. They haven't. Well, they've yet to get back to us.
Right.
But as you say, they've told you that they're on side. But Peter, would you recommend, obviously, what Omar's done, and he knows what he's doing, and he's taking the right precautions, to any general member of the public, any of our viewers watching right now? Would you say, look, it's not, unless you live in Cambridge,
right,
it's not worth trying to become your own superhero?
There's no template that we can lay over every set of circumstances.
Yeah.
So, to a useful, fit, dense bloke like you might be a lot better capable of joining in something that was a physical confrontation than an old fat bloke like me. So different rules apply to different people in different circumstances.
Right.
What I urge everybody, to repeat myself, is do not make a bad situation worse.
No.
We're all citizen journalists and evidence gatherers these days. So if you're not physically capable, if you don't want to get hurt, and we don't, get your phone out. If you can, safely record some evidence for later handing over to the police. Please, 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 make a risk assessment, think about yourself, and don't make it worse.
And you just don't know who you're approaching.
Yeah,
it might seem like a good idea and that you're saving and you're helping your community, which Omar is doing successfully. However, in every community isn't going to look the same.
And not every community is Cambridge.
No, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely that.
Cambridge is quite a nice, well-to-do area. Omar, you're going to continue to do this, and you've helped others?
I've been trying to take a step back, obviously, because I do have one that pays the bills and one that's completely voluntary. But it's difficult saying no when you know you can do an awful lot as well. So
I'm sure the people of Cambridge are over the moon.
Let's be hopeful that after today,
Suella,
that you won't have to.
Maybe that's why Cambridge Police haven't got back to us yet. They're too busy dealing with thefts.
I like your optimism.
Let's hope.
Peter, lovely. Omar, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.